Friends, good morning. It's good to be with you this morning as we celebrate the great solemnity of Corpus Christi. If you were at another parish for Mass last weekend, if you're wondering who I am, I'm Father Patrick Schultz. I'm your new administrator, and God willing, I should be here for a good long while. So it's wonderful to be with you. I'm in my second weekend, day 12, here at St. Bart's, and it's going swimmingly. It's pretty good. I kind of like you guys. That's what I'm going to say. Okay. So on this beautiful solemnity of Corpus Christi, we have so much to unpack. I want to really dig into this. So the drama for our feast today in the gospel, it begins with this problem, right? So Jesus has been teaching and preaching. He's gathered this huge crowd. It's a number 5,000 men. So triple that, quadruple that, that's about the size of the crowd. We're talking 15,000, 20,000 people or so have followed him out into the wilderness, into this deserted place, and there's a problem. There's nothing around them. The day is drawing to an end, and the crowd is getting hungry. The crowd is getting hungry. The drama of this feast begins in their bellies. It begins with grumbling, aching, hungry bellies. In other words, we can put it this way, the drama begins with desire. Desire. Perhaps you've noticed, perhaps maybe it's gone overlooked, but desire is awfully important to Jesus in the scriptures. Desire is really important. Your desires, our desires are really important to Jesus. The very first question he asks in the Gospel of John, the very first question on the lips of Jesus in the Gospel of John, you've got the disciples of John the Baptist following him. He turns around, he looks at them, and he says, "What are you looking for?" Other translations would say, "What are you seeking? What are you searching for? What are you desiring? What do you desire?" Notice the first question is not, "Hey, where were you in synagogue last Saturday?" It's not, "Hey, I think you could probably tithe a little bit more." His first question is about their hearts. The very first question is probing their hearts. What do you desire? Our desires are as diverse and manifold as each one of us. There's a lot of desires. Thomas Dubé, who's this beautiful spiritual writer, he wrote this. He said, speaking on this theme of desire, he said, you as a human being, you are a thirst. Or for our theme today, we could say, you are a hunger. Every single choice you make all day long is proof that you seek, you desire, you want, you lack. Nothing is ever enough. We were born that way. We may differ in how we seek, but all of us seek. And for nearly all of our desires, for just about all of our desires, there is a corresponding satisfaction for the desire, right? So on a hot day like this, Lord, I am so hot, I just need to cool off. Hey, there's this thing called air conditioning. Thanks be to God, right? Or I just need some rest, just to sit and rest. Hey, look, there's a tree and some shade. Go sit there, right? Or I'm so hungry. I need flavor and nourishment in my body. Oh, look, there's this amazing salad in front of me, right? For nearly all of our desires, there is a corresponding satisfaction to the desire, right? But there are desires in us that do not seem to correspond to anything in this world. It's like this. It's like our hearts are haunted by this quest. Like we are always searching for, always looking for a kind of life that always seems to elude us. We're always looking for a kind of joy that's lasting, a beauty that doesn't fade, a kind of camaraderie and friendship that doesn't come and go. We're looking for a kind of life that is lasting. Something that we can hold on to forever, a beauty, a goodness that's solid. It's solid. A few weeks ago, a good friend of mine from Columbus, she came up with her kids, and she's got her youngest daughter's my youngest, newest goddaughter, and she was up with a few of her kids, and we were spending some time on my day off, and just this moment of holding Gianna, right? So she's just a few months old still. So holding Gianna, holding this little nugget of beauty, this adorable little girl. She's snuggled up right here, and she's making all those like squeakly, piglet baby noises, you know what I'm talking about? All that baby snoring right there. And it was so precious. It's like all of those moments. That moment, I remember finding myself saying to the Lord, "Lord, I want this forever. Like, I wish I could stay here in this. I want this forever." But it doesn't stay. It doesn't last forever, right? I did have to give her back to her mom, right? Or her godmother. That's how that works. Or the other night, it was a beautiful, beautiful night. I was sitting on my back deck here at the rectory. I had my pipe going. I had a little bottle. I had a little glass of bourbon, not a bottle of bourbon. Calm down. I mean, the bourbon came from a bottle. Anyway, so I was sitting there on the back deck. The sun is setting. Perfect temperature. The sky is exploding in the oranges and purples and reds, and there's these wisps of clouds and perfect gentle breeze. There's all these deer walking through the backyard. It was like I was in a Bob Ross painting. It was just incredible. And I'm sitting there going, Lord, I want this forever. Like, I just freeze this moment, this beauty. This is what I'm looking for forever. But of course, it doesn't stay. The sun does go down, right? That's how this works. That's how this works. Springtime, it's the same thing. The earth explodes in beauty, all the blossoms, the flowers, all of it. And it brings up in my heart this simultaneous, like, yes, and at the same time, I hate this. Not just because of the allergies, but because of this, that you know in just a few weeks, all of those flowers, all of that beauty is going away. Like, I don't want a beauty that comes and goes. I want a beauty that's lasting, a love and life that's secure. Right? When you and I, when we're not numbed out, when we're not distracted, when we can actually feel our hearts are saying, like, I desire for everything. I want everything that is true and good and beautiful and lovely, everything that makes life meaningful and full and rich. I want these things to last and stay forever. Now, if you're tracking with me, I wonder if you're wondering, okay, I'm with you, but what does that have to do with the Eucharist on Corpus Christi? In a word, everything. Everything. So in the Old Testament, when God is delivering his people from slavery in bondage in Egypt, and he's bringing them to the promised land, they wander in the desert for 40 years, but he didn't just abandon them in their desert wandering. He fed them miraculously every single day with bread, manna, this bread that rained down from heaven. The Israelites, they see this bread up on the ground, and they say, what is this? Which is the meaning of the word manna. What is this? This is the what is this bread? And they taste it, and the bread, it tastes like honey. It's sweet to the taste. Now, remember, the Lord is leading them into the land flowing with milk and honey. It's interesting, isn't it, that the food that sustained them on their journey tasted like the destination. The food that sustained them on their journey tasted like the destination. Jesus is preaching and teaching in the gospel we have. He's teaching the crowds about many things. He's curing their diseases. And he's primarily preaching about the kingdom. And their bellies begin to ache. Just like in the Exodus, the bellies begin to ache. And the apostles realize we don't have the resources to feed them. All we have are 5 loaves and 2 fish. This is not a good meal. And their suggestion was, send them away. Let them take care of themselves. Let them meet their own needs. All right, fellow sinners, this is what you and I do all the time. We feel the ache, we feel this longing, we feel these needs, and what we do, instead of waiting on the Lord to satisfy us or to meet the needs, to give us what we really want, what we end up doing is we grasp at a solution. We grasp at a semblance of satisfaction. We become like babies who are hungering for the breast and who instead pop their thumb into their mouth. They get a semblance of satisfaction, but not the real thing. I don't care how hard that baby sucks on that thumb, he is not going to get any milk out of that thumb. He'll get the semblance of satisfaction, but not the real thing. And Jesus is saying, I want to give you the real thing. So Jesus, the new Moses, tells his people, tells his apostles, make them sit down, put themselves in a posture of waiting, of receptivity, of vulnerability. Enter into your need. Enter into your need. I care about your hungers. I want to take care of you. And he begins the multiplication of the loaves and fish. This anticipatory miracle that's pointing to what Jesus is going to do at the Last Supper. It's the same pattern. He takes the bread and the fish, and he blesses, and he breaks, and he gives. in this superabundant feast that opens up before them. And we hear by Luke's telling, he says they all ate and were satisfied. Their bellies were satisfied. Okay, so then we might ask, if this is an anticipatory miracle pointing to the Eucharist, then why is it, help me understand, Lord, why is it that when I come here week after week, some of us day after day for daily Mass, why is it that I still don't feel fully satisfied? Why is it that my heart still aches and my desires don't seem to be satisfied? Why does my life still feel this way? Why does it seem, if anything, that my aches and my longings and my desires are just growing wider and wider, deeper and deeper? Like, is there something wrong with me? Is there something wrong with the Eucharist? What is going on here? Because isn't the Eucharist supposed to perfectly satisfy my heart? The answer is no. And before you get really nervous thinking, I think I'm going to write a letter to the bishop, stay with me. Okay, pause. The answer is no, and here's why. Because this isn't home yet. This isn't home. This fallen world is not our home. This is the place we are passing through on our way home. Just like the bread in the wilderness was not the promised land. It tasted of the promised land, but it was not the bread of the promised land. One of the beautiful prayers that accompanies this feast, written by Thomas Aquinas centuries ago, it's an antiphon that gets prayed in the office of readings for the Solemnity of Corpus Christi. It reads this: O sacred banquet, in which Christ is received, the memory of his passion is recalled. The soul is filled with grace, and the pledge of future glory is given us. The pledge, listen, the pledge of future glory is given us in the Eucharist. A pledge is a promise that in the Eucharist, the Lord is promising us the fulfillment is coming. Your heart will not be forever dissatisfied. You see, unlike the crowds in Luke's gospel who ate and were satisfied, you and I, we are not meant to be totally satisfied in this life. In fact, in what it seems to be the case is that the Lord means to intensify our desires, intensify our aches, our longings, our thirsts. He wants to get us really hungry for heaven. So what does he do? He surrounds us with so much beauty and so much goodness and so much life and so many beautiful people, and it awakens this hunger and this desire in us that says, Lord, I want this forever. I want to stay with God, my goddaughter Gianna on my shoulder forever. I want to stay in the beauty of this sunset forever. I want to stay in this amazing meal forever. I want to stay sitting around this bonfire with my best friends forever. The Lord awakens these aches in us. He's saying, yes, the ache is good. Stay in the ache because I need you to be hungry. I need you to be hungry for a world beyond this world. I need you to be hungry for the infinite, for the eternal. We have an appetite for the infinite and the eternal. And the stunning wonder at the heart of Christianity is that mystery, that infinite mystery, the beauty, the love, all that stuff that I'm aching for, that mystery became flesh and dwelt among us and hides himself in bread and wine with his body and blood. The infinite mystery, that's who Jesus is. He gives himself to us in the Eucharist. And every single Mass, you and I, we are meant to come here hungry. And the Mass is meant to orient all of our desires, our hungers, our thirsts, meant to orient our hearts to the one who alone can satisfy. He's saying, no, don't go to the surrounding regions. Don't go out there to take care of your own hunger. Bring it here. I will feed you. I will give you food for the journey so that you will not starve along the way. Your heart is right to hunger for endless love, endless friendship, endless communion. Your heart is not wrong to hunger for endless beauty. One day I will give it to you. But for now, taste a semblance of what's coming. Friends, in this great mystery of Corpus Christi, let's open our hearts to the beauty of our Jesus, who feeds us, who knows our hungers and knows our hearts, who meets us right here and says, stay hungry, stay thirsty, stay aching, stay desiring. I mean to feed you. Amen.